This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, in the last session, we were trying to understand the script, the condition, and in that, there are different templates that we saw. We saw about if condition, if else, that is, if a condition doesn't match what it has to do. Suppose if you have more than one condition, then we saw how we are going to use if, else if, and we also saw something called as switch statement, wherein if you have multiple pattern that you have to match, then you can use. So to continue the same thing, in a scripting, there is something called as loops. Okay. So what do you mean by a loop? A loop is nothing but a circle. There are several situations or scenarios where you might have to run some commands or some statements. So now when I say statement, what is it? It is a line of execution. So if I have to repeat it again and again, then we call it as
Above strategy. Huh?
hey, who's that? Can you please mute? Okay, so we're going to rerun the same set of commands again and again. Okay, so then we call it as a loop. A loop is nothing but repeating the same line of commands again and again. Okay, and every time you run it, it is called as one iteration. Iteration means one time that you are completing it. Okay, this way you're going to keep on running it as long as you want. For example, I want to print a number. If I want to print a number 10 times, then are you going to give echo 10 times? No. If I keep doing it, it's kind of you're doing too much of actions. So that is where loop will be helpful, wherein you can repeat one line or a group of line again and again. So now you can just consider it like how we had a condition. So yesterday, when we had a condition, what did we do? For a condition, we had a block of statement. Block means group of statement. So if the condition matches, it was executing. If the condition doesn't match, it will come out and go to the next line. There is little change in lupus. You are going to have something similar where after it completes, it is not going to continue for the next line. It is going to go back to the same line of code and repeat doing it again and again. As you can see here, it is going to run. But how is that it is going to run? That is where you are going to give a condition. Like how for if you gave a condition, if you want to have something called loop, there is a syntax and you are going to give a condition. But the difference is it is not going to just run once and come out. It is going to keep on running until the condition is met. That means first it will come, it will see whether the condition is true. If the condition is true, it will go and run the code. After it completes the code, it will go to the next line. It will once again come back to the condition and it will check whether the condition is again true. If it is true, again it is going to run. So this is how it is going to repeat the tasks again and again. So this is where we need to choose how long it is going to run and what is the condition which will make this line or the code or block of statements to run again and again. So that's what we call it as loops. So in simple, running something again and again. Okay. So just show you in a simple way. Suppose if I have line 1, line 2, and now yesterday we gave some if and condition and then some statements. Okay, nothing but let's say line 3, line 4, if, and then line 5. So here what happened? If the condition is matching, it is going to come here, execute, and then finish. If not, it is going to directly go to line 5. But now, in the concept of loop, we are going to use some condition and we will see what is the syntax. But the logic here is, okay, it will come here. Is the condition matching? Yes. So it will execute all those things. But instead of going to the next line after it is completing, it will once again go back to the beginning, and again it will check for the condition. This way what will happen, you will be able to rerun this again and again. So that is where you need to know what is the syntax you have to use, what is the condition you have to use, such that it is going to repeat it itself again and again. So only when the condition is false, it will not run, it will then come again. So it will come here and it will continue with this. So until the condition is true or matching, it is going to run again and again. Okay, that is what we call it as loop. So like how we had different statements or we had different syntax for if, the same way when you say loop, there are multiple ways you can achieve the loop in a shell script. Okay, so in that way there is first one type of loop which we call it as while. Okay, now if you can see the diagram, what do you mean by while loop? So you can see here in the while loop, the condition is, now yesterday what we had, if condition finishing it feed. Now in this, if we are going to have while some condition and then followed by that do, done, and between this do and done your statements. So that means when the condition is true, do this. Okay, and once it is completed, it will go back to the condition again, check. So like this it is going to keep running. Now whenever the condition is going to fail, it is going to come down and continue with the rest of the things. So that is where you can see in the diagram, you will have a while condition. Once it matches, it will go to the code, and once the code is finished here, it will again go back to the condition, and again is the condition matching, yes, then it is going to keep repeating it, and when the condition fails, it will go to the next line whatever we have. But what is specific in the while is, like how you had if, only when the condition is matching, it will even go for the first time. When the condition is not even met once, then it will not even go once inside. Okay, so this is where while means what? While the condition is true, do this. That is what the meaning. So until or while the condition is true, it is going to always run this. While the condition is not true, done. That means nothing else to run. It will complete and proceed further with the next line of code. Okay, so now, so let's take this example. So in this example, if you see, okay, let me now take this example. Okay, now you can see I'm creating a variable called count and I'm putting it as 0. So what I want to do is I'm just trying to print numbers from 0 to 9. Okay, so this way, what is the condition that I'm giving here? While count is less than or equal to 9, do, what is this? Print count equal to $count. And once that is done, it will complete. Now here I'm going to say echo end of script. So that way, when the condition is going to fail, it will then come here. So as soon as it completes this, what will it do? It will again go back here. Now if I want, I can give one line or multiple lines. Okay, so let's try this. Okay, so file, file. Okay, what is happening? Can you guess what is happening? Yes, so let's analyze. So I mentioned count equal to 0. Okay, it is coming here. While the condition is true, go inside and do this. Okay, is the condition true? What is count? 0. Is 0 less than 9? Okay, that means it will come inside and run this. Okay, after it finishes, what will it do? It will go back here. Now, once again, is the condition true? Yes, so it is coming. So this way, what is happening? It is running again and again and again. So there is no way the condition is going to fail. So such a kind of loop is what we call it as infinite loop. Infinite means it's never ending. So this is where whenever you are creating a loop, you need to know how long it has to print. This is where if you know how many times it has to print or how many times it has to be executed, then you need to put a condition in such a way it will run only until that. So if my interest is to print only 0 to 9, okay, now tell me a condition when this will fail. When the count is greater than 9, only then it will be failing. So now how can I make sure my count, which is 0, become more than 9? So what will happen if I say, for example, here, if I say count equal to 10, okay, if I tell this, what will happen? What will happen? What happened? So it went inside for the first time, it is printing it, and after that the value of count is 10, then it is going back again. Is the condition matching? No. Okay, now this way it just ran it once. So what is that you can do? Run it from 0 to 9. This is where if you want 0 to 9 to be taken, you are actually adding one value to count. That is where every time when it goes inside, think if you can add count by 1, what will happen? First time I go inside, I will add count with 1. Then if I go back, what will be count now? 1. So is 1 less than 9? Yes. So now it will come, it will print. After that, I will once again add count with another 1. Then what will happen now? Count is 2. So now is 2 less than 9? No. So like this, every iteration it does. If I keep on adding count with 1, at some point of time it will become 10. Then automatically the condition will be not met. So this is where, how can I add count with 1? So this is where yesterday we saw expr, and I will say $count. So what will happen? Existing value plus 1. If I do this, what will happen? Whatever the value is there, that plus 1. So first time when it comes, it will be 0. So 0 plus 1 is 1. So count will become 1. Then it will go inside. Second time when it comes, it will become 1 plus 1, 2. Then again it will go, condition is true, it will come 2 plus 1, that is 3. So this way it will be incrementing. Okay. So now let's try the same thing here. Okay. What happened? It's exactly running it, because first time count is 0. After that it is adding 1. It will come back here. Condition is met. Now it is coming. It is printing 1. And then when it comes down, count will be count plus 1, which is 2. So again it will go back. 2 less than 9. Yes, it will come inside. Count equal to 2. It is printing. So like this it keeps on going. Now it will print count equal to 9. And after that when it comes, count will become 9 plus 1, that is 10. So now it goes up, the condition will fail. That's the reason it's not going in and it is coming out. Got it? So this is how you're going to use while loop, wherein first it will check for a condition and then it is going to run it. Getting it? So whenever you are using any type of the loop, it is necessary that we have to give the condition in such a way that it will, what it will do? It will typically break the condition or it will make the condition is failed at some point of time. Got it? Now, same way, there is one more condition called until loop. So what we used first is while loop. Now what is the second thing? Until loop. Okay. So there is only one difference if you see. Okay, it's not while. Instead of while, we are going to give until. Okay. Getting it? Now the difference is in while only when the condition is met, even the first time it is going to run. But until means until this condition is met, you keep on doing it. That means the very first time it will run. Only after that it will check for the condition. Okay. So first it will run, check, and then the next time it is going to check. So that's the only difference. So you are going to use while only when the first time also it should check condition. But if you are using until, first time it will run, and until that condition is not met, it is going to keep on running it. So it's just another way. So in this example, what is that I've done? I'm giving value of a variable a as 10, and here what is that I'm doing? Until a is less than 10. Okay, then what will happen? What will happen? Until a is less than 10. So what is a now? 10. Is 10 less than 10? Okay. If it is less, then print a. After that, I'm trying to add. So what should happen here? Is the condition true? So what should happen here? What is happening?
Infinite loop.
Why? Because the condition is not met. Until the condition is met, it is going to keep on running it. So what I should have done is, I should have put the condition like this. So now see this. So it is not checking for the first time, but until that condition is met, it is going to run. If the condition met first time, no? Why? What is that I've given? Okay, then 1 less than 10 until that, yeah, it is less than, so that's what it is not going inside. So what should I do? What is that I'm trying to do? Be the reverse way.
Need to replace with greater than symbol.
Yeah, I can give that. Now I again what happens? What is okay? What is happening? A is 1, okay, until 1 less than 1, it is not, so it is going here, but what is happening? Now A will never be less than 1, so your condition is always going to be not met. So this is where what should I do? Should be greater, okay? Is 1 greater than 1? Until 1 is going to be greater than 1? No. Until 1 is greater than 10, you are going to do this. So now A is 1. Until 1 becomes or A becomes greater than 10, keep on running it. So that's the reason first time it will come, print 1, then I'm going to add a equal to a plus 1. Then again it will go and check, is a greater than 10? No. So whenever the condition meets, it's not going to proceed further. Okay, whereas while is condition is met, it go inside. But here, until the condition is met, don't stop. And while means while the condition is met, do this. So here I am saying until the condition is met, do this. Okay. So now if I run until, getting it? Getting the difference? So until means until this condition is met, keep doing the task. While means while the condition is met, then do this. That's the reason first it will check for the condition. Whereas in the until the condition is not met, it is going to keep on running it. And whenever the condition meets, it will stop. Got it? Until the condition is met, do this. So that's the reason first time also, even if it is false, the condition is not met, then it will go ahead and keep running it. Got it? Difference? So this is where you need to know what kind of condition you are going to give. Only if based on the condition it has to go in while. But until you want to match some condition, if it wants to run, then you are going to use the until loop. Okay. Any questions? Now, here in while and until, we had a condition so that until the condition is matched or while the condition is matched, you are going to run some task. But sometimes you will not be knowing a condition, but you will have a value, and depending on how many values you have, that many times you want the loop to happen. Suppose now I'm telling you, hey, I'm giving you three numbers, run that three times. So that way, if you have a specific number and some content, depending on how many data you have given, if you want the script to run that many times, then we are going to use another loop called for loop, so that you give a sequence of value, and based on how many values you are giving, it is going to run that many times. So this is what in Ansible we were using it for with items. So with item, if you remember, I give three items, it is going to run three times. The same way, if I have a three items or three values, the loop will execute three times. If I give 10 values, it is going to execute 10 times. Okay. Now, the syntax for this is same way. For, which is the name of the loop, and then do done statements. But here you are going to use first a variable followed by a keyword called in, and followed by what are the values that you're going to take. Now, for example, if I give you three items and I'm asking the script to run it three times, whatever you are doing here, it is needed because you are going to take this value. This is where if you are going to run the loop, then every time it picks up one value, whatever the variable that you give here, it will assign the variable with the value, and this variable will be available within this condition. This is how when you run this loop, what will happen? If it is going to run three times, then each time it is going to take one value separately. That is why it is three times. So first time when it takes this, it will be assigning the variable with this value. If it takes second time, if you say dollar variable, you will get the second value. The next time if you say dollar variable, you will get the third value. This is how you can use that and do certain activity. Okay. Now let's take this example. Here, what is that I've done? So first, what is this? What is this? We have defined a array and it has how many elements? 4 elements. So now I am saying for a variable called v in, okay, now what is that I'm doing here? I'm giving the list of values, but I'm not giving list. Instead, I'm giving this. So what is this? What is dollar variable? This one. Now in that, in the square bracket, if I give something, what is it? Index number. Now in the index, what I'm giving? Star. That means yesterday we saw. So all the values it will replace. Okay. This way, whatever the values that this array is storing, take all. So that means it will replace this with 2, 3, 4, 5. So now, whatever you have given inside, how many times it has to run? 4 times. So that way, what I am doing here, echo $v. Now what will $v mean? Whatever the value here. So this is where, if it is going through one by one, first time it will take v, assign it to 2. So when you say echo $v, what will happen? 2 will be printed. Once it is complete, again it will go here, take the second value, it will assign it to v, and then v will become 3. It will print 3. Once completed, again it will go back to the third value, which is 4. So v will be 4. It will get printed. Then it will go back here. 5. V will be 5. It is complete. Now when it goes back, there is no value. So it will be done, and then it will come here. Okay. So now let's take this. Let me run a script here. Okay. So you can see it is running only 4 times because there was only 4 values. For each one of them, it is trying to take the corresponding value. Got it? So remember, you are going to use while or until when you have a condition. But here there is no condition. I just wanted to run something depending on how many values it's going to run. Depending on how many values you have, that many iterations it will be. Okay? Getting it? Any questions? Okay. Now, using this, now let's go back to yesterday's one of the example I gave you. I asked you to find average of how many numbers? 3 numbers. This way, how did you do that average? So you did have sum divided by 3. But what if sometime I might change the value of the variable? Okay, we will see how to change. But what I'm saying is, now if you don't know how many values you have given, then it should still run, because if I don't know how many values I've given, then I cannot say divide by 3 or divide by 4. But what I want you to do is think, how can I use a for loop? Using a for loop, how can I find an average? So that now if you think, for doing an average, now let's take the same thing. I want to find out the average of 2, 3, 4, 5. So to find out the average, what I should do? I should say 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. But now I cannot say like yesterday. What did we do yesterday? Yesterday I said equal to and we hard coded. Because now if I remove this value and put something else, your script should still work. This way I want to add and then divide by what it should say? By 4. If I change it, then it should know that much. So how can I know? First of all, tell me, how can I know? How can I count this? So is there any way where I can count how many values are there? How? Now, using for loop, can I count how many values are there? How? Now, if whatever it, so how many times this loop is going to run? 4 times. If I give 5 values, 5 times, that is sure. So can I do with that wherein every time it is going through that, right? So can I keep on adding 1 to it so that at the end I will know how many values are there? Can I do that way? That's what yesterday we did, even in the while loop we did, right? If I say count equal to count plus 1, what will it do? Every time it goes, it will be adding. This way, now see the same program. If I say count equal to 1, okay, then here I will say count equal to expr count plus 1. So that means now if it is going inside, it will get added 1. So now how many times it is going through? 4 times. So definitely it is going to add only 4 times. Now finally, if I say echo count equal to dollar count, okay. So now let's run this and see. Okay, saying count is 5 because last time is also going. So let me change it to 0. So now what is happening is running. So let's make it little more easier to understand. First, I'll print echo count uh, inside is dollar count. Okay. Then here I will say echo count after incrementing dollar count. Okay. Now we will know how it is adding. Whatever you see, the left hand side. So first, what is count? 0. And so first thing it is saying is count inside loop is 0. Okay. Then echo $V. What is $V? The value of what you have taken V. Okay. Then count after incrementing is 1. So next time it comes here, what is count now? 1. It is printing the value and then it is incrementing. So now it becomes, so again it is taking 2, it's printing the value, it's incrementing 3. Then it is coming up. So this way now, did I get how many values are there? Okay. So now I don't have to write 4. So if I give 5 values, what will be count? 5. So I got this. But now, what is the other thing I have to do? I have to add everything. So how can I add everything? This way, anyhow it is going through this internally, right? So now, see what I can do if simply I say total equal to 0. Okay. Now here, if I just say total equal to expr dollar total plus dollar v. Now what will happen? Total will be first 0. First value is 2. So 0 plus 2 is 2. Okay. Next it will come in. Now what is total? 2. 2 plus v is 3. So 2 plus 3 is 5. So total will be 5. Then next time when it comes, 5 plus v is 4. So that is 9. Then once again it comes, total is what? 9. Right? So 9 plus 5, 14. So total will be 14. This is how you can say count total equal to dollar total. Okay. The total is 14, count is 4. So now if I have to find the average, what should I do? Simply should say average equal to expr total divided by dollar count equal to dollar average. Okay. What is happening? 4 threes are 12. So it is just rounding off. What is the 12? Okay. Now here, if I change this, it will work accordingly. So I don't have to change anything. So this is where if I say 6, 7, now how many values are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So automatically, if you see, it's going to keep on running. So total is 27. Total value is 6. So 27 by 6 is average of 4. Got it? This is how it can keep doing the loop. This is where you need to remember, if you have values, then you are going to have for loop. If you have a condition, then you are going to have while loop or until. Again, in that, if you want to first match the condition and then go inside while. But if not, until the condition is going to met, if you want to use, then you will be using until.
Hello.
Yes. Got it?